Hi everyone, just wanted to show you what I got here that I have been using to pour paint. It's an old drawer and I had to take the face off of it so that it's flush down here, that it'll sit level. I lined it with some plastic because you see a lot of paint run off and it seems like a lot of paint being wasted. I catch it, let it dry. I can cut out shapes with it and reuse it because this paint here, this peels right off. I'll show you. Now, my hands are really painted up. My fingernails are no longer clean. But see, that comes right off. So this is what I use. I can move this any place in the house I want to. And I just let the paint run on there, let it dry. If this box is full of paint and I don't want to add anymore, I've got 3 layers of this plastic, so what I can do is just lift a layer of wet paint out and let it dry. So that's it. I've got some really interesting skins, and what you're seeing here is just the leftover edges that aren't really attractive. So I have some plans. I'm going to use those skins for something. I do have some plans. I'm not going to say what they are right now. But I have a board that I painted and it's ugly. I didn't like the way it turned out. And this already does have a coat of satin varnish. So I sanded it. That's why it's dull looking. Being satin, it's not real glossy anyways. But this is one of those that just didn't turn out. It was horrible. Another one of those sunflowers I tried to make. I'm telling you, it's very hard to make a sunflower for me. And unless I have a brush. You know, if I go with a brush on canvas or a brush on a board, fine, I can do it. But I want to make an abstract sunflower out of a paint pour. We've been seeing some weird things in the paint. I mean, this looks like a bunch of faces. My camera keeps turning off, but for the most part, I got the best shots of paint and stuff for this video. I'm going to mix some primary and secondary colors and get about maybe 8, 9 of them together, and then I'll be back and you can watch me pour it. Okay, I thought I'd turn the camera back on and show you what I'm doing. I'm trying to get the light in this cup shining just right so that I can show you the consistency of this paint. Now watch when it falls back into the cup. You see it puddles there for just a little bit and goes back in. It should run off in a steady stream, make a puddle, and fall back in the surface flat again. It should just remain there for maybe a second. If I was making soap right now, I would call this trace. See how it falls back in? Now this paint here, I wanted to show you, this is the color that I blended, and it's a little too thick yet. You see, that's too thick. So I'm going to store just a little bit more water in these and see how it looks. I'm going to turn the camera off while I do this because you don't want to sit here watching me stir and thin paint. I'll come back on for the next step. This color here is just a little bit too thick yet. You can tell by the way it's glopping off of the stick. And you just want to add a little bit of water at a time. A very little. I mean, because I'm so close to the consistency that I want. It's not going to take much. Maybe just another. That's it. That's it. And then mix it up good. Alright, let's try the consistency again. Still a little gloppy. it puddles too long on the surface. Let me get that cup in the light. Get the light just right so you can see. Well, it falls back in, but it's a little slow. See, there's a glop. I guess I'll wipe that off right away. A little bit more. Not much. See, not much water at a time. I'm using Saks. I'll show you. Saks True Flow heavy bottled acrylics. They're thick, very thick. This is the ultramarine blue, and this is ultramarine blue mixed with green, regular green. And that's the green. And that green I mixed with yellow. And this one back here is a variety of different paints. And this one here is Cobalt Blue, actually Apple Barrel brand. These are still 50 cents at Walmart. And this red here is Fire Red and Golden Yellow. I mixed them together just to try and tone down the brightness of the red, because the red will take over. And I think and this is how thick it is. And this is mixed with Floetrol, so they're actually thicker than this when they come out of that bottle. I have not put any water in this one yet, but I think I might even tone this one down a little bit more. And then you can see how thick this paint is when it comes out. I kind of like it. This acrylic, I've never used this brand before. I guess it's all right. I just wanted something economical for experimenting. This, and I drop it. That's the story of my life. And there it rolls away. Alrighty, I just chased my bottle of paint and I caught it. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. Okay. You can see how thick that is. It's a good paint for the price. I've had better acrylic paints, better quality, better pigments in it. I'm actually using this acrylic pour technique as a form of therapy. And I think it works. So you're going to see me do something here that I wouldn't normally do if I was painting something important. And that's to stick my same stick from one blue to another, or green. I'm going to stir in hair serum, coconut milk, anti-breakage serum, because this has dimethicone, and that's what makes those nice cells. And you usually put maybe 1 to 3 drops per ounce. These are 4-ounce cups. So I'm just going to put a little dab of hair serum in each. And I think it's close up here. There we go. Another little squirt. A little bit goes a long way. Okay. Now, you don't mix it in all the way. You just give your cup like 3 stirs. That's it. You want to leave it in big drops of silicone in there, dimethicone. I also use silicone too, by the way. Alrighty, we're going to go to this blue, and then this blue, and then from teal to green. Doesn't matter. They're all going to get mixed up on my surface anyways. So I'm not using this for anything important, this paint. That's it. Alright, now I'm going to get a cup. Now they say 1 milliliter of paint per square inch of surface canvas. And I've got a 10 by 10, so we've got 100 square inches. And I only need, I think, 3 ounces of paint. It doesn't matter if I go over a little bit because, you know, it's going to be caught in there and I can always use it for something else. So I'm going to go get a cup that I can pour the paint from. Okay, these are 5 ounce. So I'm going to go a little bit over and I'm going to fill this up to maybe right there. So I should have enough paint there. All right, I'm going to just like drop a little bit. That's it. And go to the next color. Okay, I'm back. And I've got my cup full. Right there it is. It's very full. And what I'm going to do is lubricate the board with black. Start out with black. Right in the middle. Right where I'm going to pour. So this will give the paint some slip. And get it moving. And I'll tell you a few reasons that I'm using this method of painting for therapy. It's teaching me things that maybe I forgot about. And I think I'm just going to put a blue dot in the middle of this. Sorry, the camera keeps wiggling. I do have a tripod for my phone, but I don't want to go and get it right now. This is my first demo of this paint pouring. And I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I have learned, or actually maybe relearned. You know, we forget things about ourselves over time. And I have relearned a few things that, well, I know I'm a perfectionist. And these paintings do not turn out the way you plan. It's a disappointment. It's a letdown. Because an artist has an image of what their final work should look like. You know, you get an image in your head and you paint it. So with paint pouring, you know, I think I know how this is going to turn out. But through experience, I have learned they do not turn out the way you think they do. You have to work real hard to learn how to control this paint by pouring it. And it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of work. And if you're not going to be willing to work for it, you're not going to get it. And so you got to accept sometimes the way things are and what you got. So that's what this technique has taught me. And I think it's very effective. It relieves stress. It really does. All right, I'm going to start pouring very slowly in the middle. And I think I want to try and I'm going to come up a little bit high off the board. And I'm going to try and hold that pour right in the middle. And it looks a little thick and gloppy, which is, oh, there. If I just pour a little bit more, I'm getting the effect that I'm going for. I'm kind of going for the rings. I'd like to see some rings, and I just gotta remember to keep tipping the cup. Keep the stream of paint going. I like that purple I see in here, right on the edge. So this is a dirty pour. It's where you dump all your colors in a cup and pour them out. That's called a dirty pour. This is not a flip. This is just a pour. They call these tree rings. This is a tree ring dirty pour. Then I realized my camera shut off and I'm sitting here talking to myself. Okay, I think we're pretty empty here. There we go. So that's what we got. I wanted it to kind of look like something coming out of the middle. Now we start tipping the board a little. I was kind of hoping I'd get like a planet effect. I wasn't sure. You just don't know what to expect. I've got some cells starting to come in. I really didn't want a lot of cells this time because I wanted to go for that ring look. Layers of rings. So I'm slowly tipping the board and I'm going down to the edge. I'll let it run off a little bit. I don't want to go too fast. It just distorts it too much. My corners, if I don't reach the corners, I'll fill them in with black. But as you can see, all the black underneath has been covered up. All right. Now we'll try to go down towards that corner a little bit. All right. And my camera keeps turning off. I don't know what's up with that. I think I'll just leave that there. Now we'll tip the board the other way. We've got a lot of cells coming in. Okay, we're over there now. And I don't know, those reds just kind of stayed ploppy. My phone's going to shut off. All right. I seen a little pony head in here, so I outlined it with a little yellow. And before this dries, that could change too. So I told you there's so many different things that happen in this paint, and it can really get busy for a while. And I don't want to ruin that cell, but it really is in the way to make an ear. Just make some little hairs, some little tufts. Yeah, I found a pony. Watch my trolls do something with that. Just like today we were talking in a chat room and somebody says, your trolls are going to find that. Make a video about you. And I said, they already did. So, I don't know, I might move that one. I guess the cell's really not that important, is it? What's important and what's not important? Well, my camera keeps shutting off, so I had to just take a still and go to my computer to finish this video. Here's the piece finished, and I don't like it. No. And that's not even the perfectionist part of me speaking. That's an ugly paint pour. I don't like the reds. The reds just don't belong. I like the reds that are mixed in with the yellows and blues here. That's fine. But I don't know. It's between the purple vein running through here and these reds that... So, anyways, I wound up scraping it off and repouring. And the second pour I can live with. I'll show you what that is. What's neat about this technique is if you don't like it, you can just scrape off your canvas real fast and before it dries. And even after it dries, you can pour over it. I didn't get all the paint off the board, and I just repoured over the top of it, what was left on the board. scraped off most of it, but just report over it. And this design I can live with a little bit easier than the first one. So, like I said, it doesn't turn out the way you'd like it to. You have no idea the pattern that the paint is going to create. You can kind of get a sense of it the way you fill your cup and pour. And this design, I started at a corner. I tilted the board slightly so the paint would run down. It kind of looks like water running. So, like down a stream. I like this one. It's a lot better than the first one. Would I myself personally buy this art? Probably not. Not this design. So I have to just keep practicing to getting better at controlling this paint. Any better outcome. So it is what it is. Like I said, it's the way life is. Paints, no exception. So y'all have a nice day. I'm going to try and get better at these tutorials. This is my first paint tutorial. So it is what it is. All right, y'all have a nice day.